from Legends Attic in Claremont. We have had a great day talking to Oral Hershiser, a lot of Dodger baseball.
It's about to get better.
It's about to get really, really fantastic. We are joined right now by somebody who spent 6 years in the NFL, a two-time Pro Bowler, an All-Pro, the 1989 Offensive Player of the Year.
Oh.
One of the great nicknames, too, the Nigerian Nightmare. Christian Okoye is joining us here at Legends Attic. Christian, it's a pleasure to have you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for having me.
You heard Antonio Pierce talking about, right, business decision?
Yeah.
This is a walking, talking business decision right here. Yeah. Do I want to hit him?
Yeah, I was going to say. So, Christian, when DeMarco and I were talking the other day that you were going to come on with us, and we both at the same time, and instantly had the same memory. Monday Night Football, Denver Broncos.
Yeah.
Steve Atwater.
Yeah.
He's coming in the hole.
Yeah.
You're coming in the hole at the same time. And it's the loudest NFL collision I've ever heard in my entire life. I watched it on TV and felt like I was in a car crash. What did it feel like for you?
Oh, man, just think about what I felt. Okay, I was in it. No, but, that play right there is one of those things when you run the ball a lot, sometimes you feel like you took one off. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I felt on that particular play. And I usually was the one that ran hard all the time. I remember one time we played against Miami Dolphins in Kansas City. We received the kickoff, and I ran the ball 9 times in a row and scored. And I'm like, I sat down, I'm thinking about it 9 times. When you run the ball twice, you are exhausted. You know what I'm saying? So, but that play right there, I felt like I took one off, and sometimes you regret a play.
Yeah,
you didn't succeed in. So that's the one.
It's one of the most iconic pieces of video in NFL history.
Yes.
But it says a lot. It says a lot about Atwater because he did it and what he said. You tried. But it meant a lot because that was the first time we'd actually seen you stopped
ever.
Like the picture over there being drawn by you, it's you stomping people, running guys over.
Yeah.
So you've had your fair share of wins. You can handle being knocked down once, right?
Well, the thing is that every time we played the Denver Broncos, the person that we prepare for, we game plan around was Dennis Smith.
Yes,
You know what I'm saying? And then Dennis Smith was, to me, much better player. If he's not in Hall of Fame, he should be in Hall of Fame. But then Atwater came up and, tagged me. So I said, wow, look at him.
I wonder what you would be like in today's NFL. I really do. You at your best in your prime, today's NFL with today's rules.
Yeah. I was talking to Eric Dickerson about that, and he said, man, I can run forever. Because these guys, they don't learn to tackle anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
They don't learn to tackle it because they don't wear pads in practice. You see, when I played, we wore pads every single day. I played under Marty Schottenheimer, and he was one of those old school coaches. And he works your asses off, and he worked us hard. So they don't learn to tackle. They don't wear pads. So if you don't wear pads in practice, you don't know how to tackle. You just simulate. Yeah.
Christian Okoye joining us here at Legends Attic, a beautiful piece of art that we'll talk about in 1 second. I grew up in this area. I grew up in Arcadia, California, not far from here. And I remember when I was in high school hearing stories about, hey, there's this guy at Azusa Pacific that plays football. There's this guy that he's going to go to the NFL. And I'm like, from Azusa Pacific, a guy's going to go to the NFL? Really? Him.
You put him on the map. Yeah.
and it was, and Christian, I remember all of a sudden you show up in the NFL, you are just taking it to guys, and I'm thinking, that's the guy from Azusa Pacific. How did you wind up at APU? How did you find football as somebody that was born in Nigeria? And was the NFL, was it in your wildest dreams? Was that the destination?
I didn't even know what NFL was. I didn't know what football was. When I came to America to go to school at Azusa, I came over to go to school, of course, and then participate in '84 Olympics.
Okay.
Those were my goals because I was in track and field. I was throwing discus. I was doing very well. Used to go to Europe in the summertime and compete over there, and some of the guys, those Russians and East Germans, throwing against them, a bunch of Americans. So we were all friends. We meet all the time, and I'm telling myself, if I can beat those guys, those are the guys that will be competing for their countries in the Olympics. So I can beat them again. Mm-hmm. So I was hoping to medal, you see. And Nigeria didn't take me to the Olympics.
Why?
So I was so disappointed. And
were there better athletes than you?
No. For some reason, which I don't know.
Okay.
But, that was my junior year, the summer before my junior year. And throughout my freshman and sophomore years, my friends have been trying to talk me to playing football. And I keep telling them, no, I don't know anything about the game, so I'm not even going to watch. I don't want to participate and so on. But when Nigeria didn't take me, I decided if they take away my goals, I might as well find something else. I played soccer. I would love soccer. I couldn't go back to soccer because at that time I was weighing 282 pounds.
Oh my gosh!
Well, you could have, yeah.
I couldn't play soccer anymore. So I was a weight thrower, distance thrower. So I was lifting a lot, and so I decided, okay, I'm gonna play football. I walked into my football coach's office and I said, Coach, I'd like to play football. And he said, okay, what position do you want? I didn't know any position. I didn't know anything about the game. But I told him, I said, I was watching the news. And I saw this guy reverse the field and ran a long ways and scored a touchdown. He said, oh, that was Marcus Allen during the Olympics.
Oh, wow.
During the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, what position was he? He said, running back. I said, that's where I want to play.
Get out of town.
That's how you became a running back.
That's how I did it. He said, okay. So we went out there, and it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. I worked extremely hard. Of course, I dropped a little 20 pounds or so. And I played 2 years at Azusa. I graduated, and somebody from LA Times came and said, if you want to make it to the NFL, you should go back and play one more year for more experience. So I said, okay. I went back and played 1 year, and that made a huge difference. At that time, as you know, a bunch of players go to play in the bowl games.
Yeah, sure.
So Gary Pine, who was the sports information director at APU, was calling, trying to get me into one of them. Nobody wanted to take me, right? Because they didn't know how.
Yeah, you're not at Notre Dame or USC.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, but luckily, Paul Palmer pulled out from Senior Bowl.
Yes.
And they called me like a few days before the,
Alabama, right?
practice.
Paul Palmer? Alabama,
Paul Palmer was Temple.
Temple. Okay, yeah. Okay.
So they called me and said, are you still interested? I said, sure. So I went, and, everything was working against me. Experience in football was working against me. And, of course, strange sport. When I got there, the first practice, I sprained my ankle real bad, Mm-hmm. And if you get injured, they send you home and get somebody else. That's what they do. And but they didn't send me home. Coach Schuler was my coach.
Oh.
And I asked him one day, I said, Coach, I was looking forward to going home. He says, well, we're not going to send you home. Before you got here, a day before we started practice, they put a huge article about you, how much you weighed and how much you lift. I was lifting, squatting 750 pounds.
Oh, my God.
I was running my 40s, hand time, they was getting me about 4.2s and stuff like that.
At 260?
Yeah.
That should be illegal.
So they said, people want to see you. That's what he said. So we're going to do the best we can to get you healthy, and then you see if you can play in the game. I said, oh, my goodness. I said, wow. And then I started walking. I started, learning the plays and trying to get everything in. During the game, I scored 4 touchdowns.
That'll do it.
Yeah.
That'll do it.
So
did you know what you were doing? Did you know you was like 4 touchdowns was a big deal?
No, I didn't.
Right.
I didn't.
That's a huge deal. 4 touchdowns. Yes.
Every time I scored, I was looking at the bench because I want to go and rest.
Oh my God!
You know what I'm
saying?
So, but
where did Nightmare come from? Who gave you that nickname? Yeah.
Nightmare started in Kansas City. If you remember Irv Itman.
Yes, I do.
Yeah,
yes.
Irv, he's the one that started the Nightmare. We were watching films, and of course, in practice, people were just going high speed and stuff, and coaches were getting upset. And but I was a rookie, so I was going full speed, knocking people over. And so Irv says, "Oh man, watch out for the Nightmare."
Yeah.
And
it stuck.
And then it stuck. Yeah,
stuck.
So.
Do you ever feel bad about a guy you run over?
No.
Not at all? Not one? Not at all?
No, I don't. Because a lot of times when they get you down, when they finally get me down, people are punching me and pinching me under the pile.
You dang right.
You know
Look
what
at
I'm
you.
You know who was doing stuff like that, don't you?
You dang right.
This one.
That's the
Oh,
business.
yeah,
It's called giving them the
DeMarco.
business. Yes.
I'm going to get him back.
See, there you go. Running over my corners and whatnot.
So you go from being a track and field athlete
Yes.
to being a football player at a small school.
Yes.
How long did it take you to understand what American football is? Did you like it right away? Did you take to it right away?
I hated football the whole time I played in the NFL.
Really?
I didn't like it. You know, I'm seriously, I didn't like it. Because I wasn't used to it. My whole body was getting numb every time somebody hit me or somebody hit. Sometimes when I hit people, sleeping on Mondays, it was hard.
Yeah.
Waking up in the morning. You know, I mean, as a big guy, when I run the ball, if you hit me, I will take a few more steps. And so I received several hits each carry.
Yeah.
You know, so I feel like I played 4 games in one. You see, so I didn't like the game.
How many carries they give you a year when you were at your best? What was your most?
Well, when I led the league in rushing in '89, it was 370.
Oh,
Yeah.
370 carries, 370 car wrecks in 1 year.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
Yeah.
Well, it's more than that because if you count
boom, boom.
all the other shots that I received each carry, it's more than that.
Nice.
Yeah.
So the game is hard. It's physical. Did you like being famous? Did you like being the Nightmare? Did you like people knowing who you are everywhere you went?
Well, now I do.
Yeah. right.
Now, back then I didn't. I was just minding my own business. You know? But now you start to appreciate some of the things that happened way back then.
Yeah.
You know?
You see people wearing your jersey now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you know.
It's amazing, right? You left
exactly. Well, back then when I was playing, I just look away or walk away or something like that. But now I do appreciate it.
I just did a little quick math, so I picked up my phone real quick. That's 24 carries per game, every game, 16 games a season.
Oh, that's it? That's all?
I'm starting to understand why maybe you weren't the biggest fan of football. You get taking those amount of hits along the way. That's extraordinary. I got to ask you about your T-shirt.
Yeah.
That it says, if you're just listening on the radio, not watching on YouTube, it says Tecmo Bowl Chiefs, and it's got the kind of the old school graphics from the game itself. If you are somebody that's roughly my age, there were 3 people you wanted to be in Tecmo Bowl: Lawrence Taylor, Bo Jackson, and Christian Okoye. Those were the 3 guys that you wanted to be.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love the shirt, first of all, but when the game comes out, did you understand like the impact it would have, and that you were on the very short? You wanted to play the Chiefs, the Raiders, or the Giants. Those were the 3 teams.
Man, I tell you, every time we play the Raiders, it's like a playoff game, of course. You know, so when one of those games come up, I tell you, I prepare for it. You know, because I know these guys were coming after me. You know, so I don't look forward to them, but I always get ready for it.
What do you think about the Chiefs now and Mahomes and the run they're on?
I'm loving it. I'm loving it because, of course, you know, Mahomes is a magician. You know, you can never count him out. So every time we are behind and it's just in the third quarter, I say, we'll come back.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
We'll come back.
And
so,
I think he's in the exact right spot because of that fan base and how they feel about the Chiefs.
Oh, yeah. In Kansas City, people eat and drink Chiefs.
Yes.
They love. You know, you arrive in the airport, everybody's wearing red. Everybody's wearing 15 or 87. You know what I'm saying? So we have great support in Kansas City, you know, and you can't hate Kansas City.
Yeah.
No,
People
it's a
are
great
great.
city.
Yeah.
It's a great
Barbecue, you know.
Yes.
I mean, everything is great.
I can hate running into you, though. Yeah, man.
We're here at Legends Attic in Claremont. The great Christian Okoye joining us here as well. And you mentioned, obviously, people wearing your jersey, and obviously a lot of attention comes along with being an NFL star. What's it like to see a work of art created with your image in it?
I'm amazed. You know, the pictures is just incredible. And the other time when I came and saw the other pictures inside, I called my friend and told him, I said, you know, I saw Eric Dickerson's painting. You know, he says, I'm going over there. I'm going to buy it. Wow. You know, I said, I don't know if it's for sale, but if it is, it should be yours. So I don't know if he came and talked to you guys, but I also told Eric about it. I sent him a picture. I snapped a photo and sent it to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is awesome.
That's the Eric I love with the rec specs and the Jerry curl.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the one I love right there. The Jerry curl, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
You never had one, did you?
No.
Jerry
Oh,
curl?
well, I did.
You did have a Jerry curl?
Of course
Is
I
there a
did.
picture of it?
No.
Please let me see a picture
No,
of
you
with
won't
the Jerry
you
curl.
won't see a picture.
One last thing. The way you wore your pads, I mean, it was part of you, the nightmare, and the way
Yeah.
you looked. You looked scary. Was that you, or did they give you those set of pads to wear?
Well, when I started having my neck problem,
Yeah.
The equipment guys put extra stuff on top.
The neck roll. Yeah.
Yeah, the neck
Okay.
roll. And I was wearing lineman's shoulder pads
Yeah.
anyway because of my size.
Yes.
You know, so one day, I have to tell you this, one day, Marty says, Christian, come here for a minute. I walked up to him. He says, why don't you get on the scale? I want to see how much you weigh with your gears on. I weighed 309 pounds.
What? Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Okay. I got to ask DeMarco a question.
Okay.
You have a man this size
Yes.
that dressed up 309 pounds.
Yes.
What's the option?
If you told me, like, what does Christian Okoye describe his face?
And
I
by the
couldn't
way,
tell you.
4'2".
Yeah, I
4'2".
describe his face. Couldn't tell you. I'm looking right at his feet only. That's it. This is my aiming
Swipe and
point.
try to get a trip?
I'm staying away from up top. Oh my God, 309 pounds. That's illegal. Oh my God, that's terrible. Wow.
Oh, man. I'm blessed, man.
Yes, you are. Yes.
I'm
What are
blessed.
you up to these days? You're a California Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I run the California Sports Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
And, you know, I have a foundation for children, so we have a bunch of events in Kansas City and in Nigeria as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so those keep me busy.
How many Nigerians guys are in the NFL? Came through.
Oof, I tell you what, when I got in, I was the only one.
Yeah.
I had one kicker before me, but when I came in, I was the only one. And then when I retired, you have about close to 180 guys now.
Yeah. Okay.
How popular is it in Nigeria?
It's
NFL
growing.
football?
It's not popular, but it's growing.
Yeah.
It's growing, yeah. Yeah. So,
OC Umenyiora does a lot of stuff, right?
yes, he
Yeah.
works for NFL. He lives in London.
Yes.
Yeah, so he does a lot of camps in Africa now. So
Correct.
I talked to him.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Christian, it has been a pleasure. Congratulations on everything. It's a pleasure to get to
Apologize.
talk football.
Apologize to all the people you've given concussions to. Go ahead. Right there.
Sorry, guys.
It's a great Christian Okoye. We are here at Legends Attic. Beautiful piece of art with Christian. All
Thank
sorts
you,
of
man.
cool stuff
Oh,
inside
man.
things
Awesome.
as well.
Good to
Christian,
see you.
it
Good
was
to
a
see
real
you.
pleasure.
Yes, sir.
Thank you
Thank
so
you, brother.
much.
Thank
We'll
you.
come back and talk a little more Dodger baseball. I think we get to talk to Oral again. Looking forward to that. It's Trav DeMarco, 710 ESPN.